Hi, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another Kit Conspiracy video. Today is also a Stitches and Stencils Day, which means that Sandy over at State Goddess and MK over at Some Assemblage Required and I will all be using some sort of stitching and stenciling on our layouts. So I chose to use this polka dot paper from Pretty Little Studios Sunkissed collection, which is the Kit Conspiracy kit we are using this week. And I love all of these bright colors, but I'm going to do some tone on tone stenciling with this Tile Mania stencil from the Crafters Workshop. I love this stencil. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I recently pulled out all my Nuvo drops and I'm like, I need to either start using them or get rid of them. So I'm going to use them through a stencil, which I think is a perfect way to use them. I like it a lot better than actually using them as drops. I did not have a really good yellow though, so I am using some yellow Picket Fence Studio paper glaze. And then I went back to some more of the Nuvo drops in varying colors. I will hold these up so you can see what all of the colors are. These are all really old. They've been in my stash for many, many years. And they're from like one of the first releases of Nuvo drops. So I don't even know that these colors are still available, but um, pretty much any mixed media could get you a very similar effect. But I really like the way that this grid looks over some of the polka dots, and you're going to see that a little better in the close-ups. I think it's really fun. I'm also adding a little bit up here at the top in a slightly different color pink, just because I felt like it needed something up there as well. I am using mostly glitter drops today. The blue one is Blue Lagoon, the purple one is Purple Rain, the pink one is called Strawberry Daiquiri. The green is not a glitter gel, it's a crystal drop and it is called Green Apple. And then the yellow is Yellow Daffodil, or Daffodil Yellow from Paper Glaze. And again, the stencil was called Tile Mania, I believe. I'm going to put the link for those down below if I can find them. Like I said, the Nuvo is very old, so I may not be able to find that. I am going to use some kind of flattened pom-pom trim, and I purchased this at Hobby Lobby just recently, so it's probably a pretty good bet that if you have a Hobby Lobby, they might still have it. And so I'm going to use some of that. And then I am going to use some of these wood veneer pieces and acrylic pieces from MK's shop. I am using the handprints and I am using the splatters and the paint brushes. And I will put links down below for those as well. I am putting some heavy white gesso on the blue and the yellow of each set, and then I've gone over them with some media gloss spray, which is an acrylic spray, so it's going to dry opaque and not clear. And I am using carnation and turquoise. Now the carnation one, I'm going to go over it again with fuchsia to make it a little brighter and bolder, which this layout really needs that because uh, the background is full of bright, bold colors. And so adding a soft color on top, it kind of just gets lost in the background. So the pink was not quite bright enough. I'm going to go ahead and go over it with this fuchsia. And I think that's definitely going to pop and make it look so much better. I also am going to go over those pieces with the glitter gel that I used in Blue Lagoon and Strawberry Daiquiri to make them sparkle. I went around the entire layout with a stitch. Um, I went around it with a zigzag stitch, and then on each corner I did a straight stitch with a back stitch about halfway through, so you can kind of see that it's a little bolder at the halfway mark on each side of the layout. And then that just kind of gave it a really nice dark border, and I really like the way that that looks. So you're going to see that more in the close-ups. This patch that says wow is from MK's shop also. She is sold out of those, but I had not used mine yet, so I'm going to go ahead and use it on here. I really like the pink on it. It goes great with what I've got going on already, as well as that black. And the photograph is of the older of the three kids that I take care of, and she got one of those spin art setups for her birthday in the summertime. And so she was doing spin art, and I've got the pictures of her making the art, and she's really happy in the photos. I just thought it would be fun to go ahead and document that and how much she loves arts and crafts. And so that is what is going on in this particular set of photos here. My title I'm going to use is from the phrase, um, the titles from this same collection from Pretty Little Studio. And so my title is going to be Make a Splash. I I know she's not using water, but I feel like the paint is splattering all over, and so it works. And that's why I decided to go with it. I'm just trying to figure out the placement of my acrylic and wood pieces here, just to decide where they look best. The cameras, the paintbrushes are a little bit on the tall side, so I wanted to make sure that they didn't go off of the edge of the page, and so I needed to kind of strategically place those so that they were fully on the page and not like sticking off the page. And so that kind of made the decision as to where the other two pieces could go on the top or the bottom of the layout. And then I decided to pull in some of the stars from the star pack of ephemera that goes with the same collection, and then some tabs. And I'm going to use an open star at the bottom. I'm going to in turquoise, and then the darker one up in pink up at the top. And then I've added a tab to each area, which I am inking up with some black distress ink. I'm going to ink all of them up, and that's going to really help them pop off the page a bit and tie them in better to the black that I've got going on with the ribbon, the stitching, and the matting of my photos. I am using liquid glue to adhere all of this uh, fiber down so that my sewing machine needle does not get all gummed up with like tear and tape or my ATG gun. And the um, Nuvo Deluxe adhesive holds really well, and it's just a great overall wet glue. So I highly recommend it. It doesn't take very long to dry either, and it's going to help my black pieces of fiber just set up there so that when I run the sewing machine over it, they don't get all bunched up or curled or wonky. Um, I'm just really trying to avoid wonky lines. So I am just going to go to my sewing machine and stitch on all of those pieces that of um, fiber, and I am pulling the stitching through the back and just fastening it down with some washi tape. Super simple, you guys, nothing really out of the ordinary here. I don't really like the ends of my string to show a whole lot. Sometimes I don't mind it, but for the most part, I like everything tidy, so I pull them through the back and just fasten them down with the washi. That seems to work well for me. Now that blue star, I am going to pop it, the outer edge of it up onto some foam tape just because the piece that is behind the part that says wow is still sitting on top of the black trim, which is giving it added dimension. So I want to make sure that I'm supporting that star and making it so that it's not going to get bent. And then same with this piece that says splash. I am going to trim the outside off of it because it's got a pretty big white border, and I want more of my stuff behind it to show. So I want to make sure that I go ahead and trim it down so that it takes up less room on the page, or less, it covers less on the page and you can still see the word, but you don't get that big white halo effect around the word. Um, I didn't, of course, cut all of it off, but I cut a lot of it off, so that helps. So here's where I decided just to use some foam tape, and that's just Fun Foam from Walmart. It is adhesive on one side, and then the other side I just use a little of my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to adhere it down and hold it in place. And I really like the way that that's looking. I like this patch right over the side of it. I will put links down below for all of the products that I'm using today over in MK Shop so that you can check that out. Again, that's some assemblage required. She's got really awesome wood veneer and acrylic. Many of the pieces are only a 1/16 of an inch thick, so they're not super bulky on your page, just read in the description box because she does have a variety of items over there, and there are some that are thicker, but a lot of them are still just 1/16 of an inch, and so they don't add a ton of bulk to your page. And just because these pieces came in primary colors, as you can see here, it wasn't too hard to change them. You can just use some gesso or some white acrylic paint over the top, and then just put some other color of acrylic paint or mixed media over the top to change the color. And you really can't even tell that these were originally a yellow handprint up at the top and a dark blue handprint down at the bottom. Um, it looks absolutely fine, and I think that you can make just about anything match. And that's the beauty of the wood veneer as well. You can paint her wood veneer, and it's all awesome. Her wood veneer is also adhesive backed, so all of the handles on these paintbrushes are adhesive backed. Um, you just have to use a little bit of glue dots or liquid glue to adhere the acrylic. So okay. Also, don't forget to go check out what Sandy and MK are doing on their channels today for Stitches and Stencils. I love this series. I love that it challenges me to use things a little differently, or to use things paired up together that I don't always pair up together. Um, and it adds a lot of really neat texture and interest to my pages when I do both stitching and stenciling on them. So I really do love that. So that up at the top there, I've added my an a magnet. My glass board is magnetic, and so I just added a little bit of liquid glue under the edge of one of the acrylic pieces up there at the top, and so I just put the magnet on it to kind of hold it in place so that it would set up and stay where I wanted it. And then I just did a couple of stamps of the date right by that where it says wow, and that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this layout on seeing how you can use stitching and stenciling to just do something different on your page and kind of take it up a notch. And there you get some really good close-ups of those acrylic pieces. I hope you enjoy the modifications I made on those as well. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, I will be back again tomorrow with another Kit Conspiracy video. So come back and check that out and see how I use more of this beautiful Sunkissed collection from Pretty Little Studio. I will see you then. I hope you guys have a great day, and come back and see me soon. Bye-bye.